Hey everyone, it's Kat here. Today's video is about 10 must-try foods in Hokkaido, Japan. Now, me and Alex have just come back from a beautiful trip around the North Island of Japan, which is Hokkaido, and there are so many different specialty items that you must try when you're there. So let's get into it. Alrighty, number one is miso-based ramen. Now, you're definitely not going to have any shortage of ramen when you're in Japan, but in the Hokkaido region, miso-based ramen is one of the most popular options and it is very delicious. We actually visited this little shop, which is supposedly where miso-based ramen was first invented. And I think the story goes that some drunk salaryman was ordering some miso soup and he accidentally popped his ramen into it. I don't know if that's true or not, but miso-based ramen is definitely a must-try in Hokkaido, especially in winter when it is very cold. It really just helps you warm up and feel all fuzzy inside. And the miso element to the ramen really brings a good umami flavor. Something else that's also popular in Hokkaido is butter corn ramen. And as the name suggests, it's just butter and corn mixed into the ramen. But I really think that butter gives a nice, rich flavor to the broth. Definitely great for a comfort food and it's a must-try while you're there. Number two on this list of must-try foods in Hokkaido is crab. They have quite a few different options of crab that's available through different seasons in the year. Probably the most popular ones are the hairy crab, which is quite small, and as the name suggests, it's got little fur kind of on the outside coating of the shell. And of course, the showstopper, the king crab. Me and Alex went to the fish market area in Sapporo to go to this specialty shop which serves live king crab and hairy crab. You can see them all in the tanks, which is pretty cool, and you can go through and pick the specific crab you want. Depending on the weight and the size, the price will be a little bit different. Originally, we were going to go for one of the hairy crabs because it is smaller, so we thought it would be less expensive, but actually, the way that the pricing worked, the king crab was actually much more cost effective and they cook it up fresh for you right there. You can choose whether you want it to be boiled or whether you want it to be barbecued. We went for a half-half option so we could kind of taste the difference between the two. And I'm not joking, guys, this was the best crab we have ever had. It was so sweet and they don't serve it here with any kind of condiments or any sauces. It's literally just the crab as it is because that's how good it tastes. Now, the king crab that we got specifically was around 150 Australian dollars. I think that's pretty good for freshly cooked seafood, but if you don't have time to go to the market and pick out your own crab, there are plenty of places all around Hokkaido that will sell crab frozen or pre-cooked, so that's also an option if you're running short on time. I don't normally eat crab that much at home, but when you're in Hokkaido, it is definitely a must try. Alrighty, number three, and we're going to continue along with that seafood trend. It is seafood rice bowls or kaisadon in Japanese. Now, just like with crab, seafood in Hokkaido is very fresh and very popular. So what better way to enjoy it than having a fresh rice bowl filled to the brim with different sashimis, uni, prawn, whatever you want really. While we were in Hokkaido, we tried something a little bit different to your typical seafood bowl, the sukko meshi, which is an overflowing fish roe bowl. This particular restaurant that we went to, they literally yell at you as they pour on the fish roe, but it's definitely all part of the experience. I would recommend while you're here in Hokkaido to try a seafood bowl, even if you're not really into seafood and sashimi, because the quality of the produce here is so fresh. Okay, number four on this list is soup curry. And this is a Hokkaido specialty that is quite different to your typical Japanese curry. It's basically like a watered down version. I guess it's kind of like a laksa. At most places, you can usually pick the spicy level of your curry. In terms of the toppings you can put in, it is incredibly versatile. You can go for meat, vegetables, and it's normally served with a side of rice. When we tried it, we opted to put cheese on the rice, and I definitely recommend doing that. But yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to like soup curry because it seems like a bit of a weird concept. I think it definitely works quite well. You'll find so many different restaurants offering this. It's definitely worth giving a go. Number five on this list is Genghis Khan barbecue. Now again, this is a Hokkaido specialty and it's named after the famous Mongolian leader. It is quite different to regular Japanese yakiniku in that the grill that you use has a dome kind of shape, has a little kind of catchment area around the bottom. And the reason for this is because you cook your meat on top of the dome and you normally put vegetables around the edge, things like cabbage or bean sprouts, pumpkin. And what happens is when that meat starts cooking and the fat and the juices drip off, it kind of trickles down into those vegetables and it makes sure they have a really delicious flavor. Traditionally, Genghis Khan barbecue is done with lamb or mutton meat. So you'll find that is the main type of barbecue that you can get around Hokkaido. But nowadays they do also do other things like chicken or pork for people who don't really like lamb. Me and Alex are are big barbecue lovers, so this was definitely right up our alley. We really enjoyed it. And it's such a fun activity, especially if you've got a beer or a drink going as well. Number 6 on this list is zangi. And this is a type of fried chicken, a very popular Hokkaido specialty. And the difference between karaage and zangi is the way that it's marinated. Zangi is normally marinated in a soy ginger kind of dressing before it's deep fried. So it really has that extra salty and umami flavor that makes it, I guess, a little bit of a step up from regular karaage. It's a really popular dish at izakayas, and there are some specialty restaurants as well that literally just serve this type of fried chicken. After a long day of sightseeing in Hokkaido, I can't think of anything better than a bowl of delicious fried chicken, so definitely worth trying, guys. Number 7, and this will go very well with your zangi, Sapporo beer. You can definitely get a Sapporo beer from pretty much any convenience store in Japan and all across the world, but while you're in Hokkaido, why not go check out where it's actually made? The Sapporo Beer Museum is a very popular attraction in Hokkaido, and it's actually a really great place to learn some of the history of the beer. There's 2 areas to the museum here. There's a paid area and a free area. We just went through the free beer exhibit. That was still pretty good. There was a lot of information there. I really liked that they had all the historical beer advertisements on display. That was pretty cool. And the best part about the museum is that there is actually a little tasting hall. So once you're done with all the exhibits, you can go and try some fresh beer straight from the keg. They have these tasting platters, which has 3 different beers for 1,000 yen, which is pretty good value. And it's a really good way to appreciate the history of the beer. Alrighty, number 8 on this list, and we're getting into the desserts now, Hokkaido dairy. And it's funny actually, because when you're in Hokkaido, you don't call it Hokkaido dairy. It's just regular dairy, if that makes sense. When you're traveling around Japan, you'll find that a lot of places are advertising that they serve Hokkaido milk or Hokkaido dairy products. And the reason for this is because Hokkaido dairy is known to be the best in Japan, maybe even the world. Super creamy, super rich. And interestingly enough, Alex normally has lactose intolerance, but when we were eating these things here in Hokkaido, he didn't have any kind of symptoms or reactions to the milk. If you really want to experience true Hokkaido dairy, you have to go to the town of Otaru, which is a little town about an hour away from Sapporo. They are very famous for their cheesecakes, for their biscuits, for their ice cream, all those kind of delicious dairy products you can get there in Otaru. I'll make another video specifically about what to eat in Otaru, but if you don't have time to get there, anywhere in Hokkaido will be fantastic for trying some dairy products. Number 9 on the list, and this one is a little bit random, but once you get to Hokkaido, you'll definitely understand what I'm talking about. It's white chocolate biscuits. The specific brand is called Shiroi Koibito, and it's an incredibly popular biscuit factory in Sapporo. It even has its own little theme park, which is an attraction in itself, where you can go and purchase the biscuits and actually watch them being made in the factory there. Basically, it's like 2 little butter biscuits, and it's sandwiched in the middle with either white chocolate or milk chocolate. And hang on a second, I actually have a box of them in the kitchen, so let me just go grab that. Alrighty, so this is the box of cookies, and they're actually a really popular souvenir. This is what the biscuits look like. Come in these little packages, and they are very delicious. When you're in Sapporo, I would definitely recommend heading to the Shiroi Koibita Park just to kind of check it out, check out the vibes of what's going on. But if you don't have time for that, you can buy boxes of these biscuits at the airport or any kind of souvenir shop. I will say, make sure to buy a couple of extra boxes for yourself, because you probably will end up eating a few before you get home. Number 10 on the list, and the final must-try thing in Hokkaido, is melon. Japan is known for its beautiful, perfect fruit, but melon in Hokkaido takes that to another whole level. Unfortunately, when we visited, it wasn't quite melon season yet, so we didn't really find too many places serving it, but it is very popular as like a street snack. You'll find that places will serve it in a big wedge, and it'll be already pre-cut with toothpicks, so you can just kind of eat it as you go. Okay guys, well, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about all the different things that you should try in Hokkaido. And if you want to know the specific restaurants that we visited in Hokkaido, I'm going to make some separate videos on where to eat in Sapporo and where to eat in Otaru, so you can go and check those out. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you for some more Hokkaido videos.